Children.
Good answer, but incorrect.
There's so many things that could go with that. It's just money.
It does cost money, but no, it's not money in general.
I don't know.
You want?
Go ahead, tell me.
It's a lawsuit.
Yes.
That's a great riddle, right?
It is. All right, last ones. Me, then you. Pick your last. A man is found hanging dead from the ceiling of a room. Sorry for the last two dead ones. The room's dimensions are 15 by 15 by 15. The man is only 6 feet tall, and the rope was only 2 feet long. This was not under the math section, I'm sorry. There are no windows and only one door into the room. The door is bolted shut from the inside, and there is a puddle of water under the man. How did he kill himself? I have definitely heard this before, but I'm sure if you have.
No, I've never heard this one.
Okay.
All I can think is that the room filled up with enough water that he floated up to tie his noose, and then the tide went out, and then...
No. It's much simpler than that.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I don't get it.
Do you want me to read it again? Is what I'm at.
Yes.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Okay. A man is found hanging dead from the ceiling of a room. The room's dimensions are 15 by 15 by 15. The man is only 6 foot tall, and the rope was only 2 feet long. There are no windows and only one door into the room. The room is bolted shut from the inside, and there is a puddle of water under the man. How did he kill himself?
An ice block.
Yes.
Yay!
Get on an ice block.
Okay. So, my last riddle.
Yes, queen.
Oh, I don't want to do the math ones. Those aren't fun.
I mean, you could try me if you want. I like math.
Okay. If you're 8 feet away from a door and each move advances you half of the distance to the door, how many moves does it take to reach the door?
Okay, so you go 8 to 4, 4 to 2, 2 to 1, 1 to a half foot. Like, is that what we're going to? Like, are we going down to fractions?
No, it just says if you're 8 feet away from a door and each move advances you half the distance to the door, how many moves does it take to reach the door?
2.
You want the answer?
No.
Well, it's wrong.
Okay. Well, I was thinking you said every move is half advances you, so I took the 8 to 4, 4 to 0 turn. Now we're doing the 8 to 4, 4 to 2, 2 to...
Fortitude.
2 to 1, 1 and 1.5. But then it goes like 1 to a half, half to a quarter to whatever it is.
Yeah.
Because brain, an 1/8, a 16th, a 32nd. Like, I will do that and never get to 0.
And you will never get to the door.
So is that the answer? I'll never get to the door?
The door will never be reached because each move will always only get you half the distance.
Yes. Yes.
There's no.
I was like, you literally cannot do it. You can't do that.
The limit does not exist.
The limit does not exist. Oh my gosh.
So, I don't know about you, but I'm ready to hear what our regularly scheduled portion of the podcast is.
All right.
Pay attention. It's time for the regularly scheduled portion of the podcast, Song of the Week.
So I had a bad week. We all know this from catch-up time, okay? which in turn meant I was listening to Disney music, not because of my children either, because I listened to it all day at work, in my car on the way to work. So therefore, from my favorite Disney movie growing up, Colors of the Wind from Pocahontas.
Classic.
Literally was my
Perfect.
favorite cartoon. Well, movie. Cartoon
I mean,
movie.
it's a cartoon.
Yes.
It's still a great one.
Yes.
So I have 2 songs of the week this week. So one is a vibe. I mean, they're both vibes.
Uh-huh.
But the other is just because new album.
Yes.
So my first song, I've already featured this artist before, but she was under a different name.
Okay.
So the song is Pink Rover by Scene Queen, and it's all over TikTok right now.
Huh.
Or at least on the TikTok I'm on.
Okay.
And her original name was Rose. And I had a song by her
Yes,
before.
I remember.
It's awesome. We're going to listen to it because it's violent.
Okay.
My second song of the week is for the perfect, wonderful, and beautiful Miss Queen Herbie. And the song...
I love her album themes.
Always.
For one, there was a Halloween album theme.
Yeah.
Or just spooky
Halloween.
AF. Yeah. And then now this one?
Yeah.
Hello.
And I chose the song Spoil Me.
I listened to it on the way here.
That is me in a nutshell.
Yes.
I want to be baby. Okay.
Sorry, I'm trying to think of what my sign off is. I'm trying to choose one of the answers. And I almost chose feelings. Because we all know I don't have feelings.
This week on the Cena segment. This week in the Cena segment. So I'm working on my own D&D campaign, and you're going to be a part of it.
Oh, yeah.
And so there's just some questions. I'm going to give you some background on what can be. I gotta
you have my
adjust.
full attention.
We've already discussed you're going to be a barbarian.
Yes.
Nicole just wants to hit things.
I'm a guard dog.
She's a guard
Therefore,
dog.
a barbarian.
So you have one of 2 options to start building your character background and story.
Okay.
This is the question I pose to everyone. Would you rather owe the princess a life debt because she has pardoned you from a crime, or be a hero of renown that you're being commissioned?
Who's the princess?
Princess Ira. That's all you know.
Like, there is no one who has been labeled the princess in our
You're not
campaign.
playing. Yeah, you're not playing
No
with
one's
the
playing-
princess.
okay.
She's kind of like an NPC, which is a non-playable character.
Okay, say it again then.
Okay. To start this adventure,
Yes.
would you rather owe the princess a life or death favor because she pardoned you from death, like from the gallows, because she requires something from you? Or would you prefer to have been a hero that is being paid to come on an adventure? And I already know everyone else's answers. And right now, I'm going to give you a little more background, which is what I'm telling everybody. The kingdom we are in is under tyrannical rule. So your crime could be very
for a second.
petty.
Stop for a second so I can pay attention. The princess option is going on this adventure like her favor that I'm doing.
Yes.
Okay.
So you will be owing her. The reason you're here is because
That
you
is what
owe her a favor.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure.
And like you're sworn to like her service because she pardoned you from death because she needs you and your skill set for something. Do you want to know what everyone else's answers are?
Would love to, because I already think I know my answer.
Everybody wants to have committed a crime, is all I'm saying.
Is that the princess answer?
Yeah, they'll owe the princess, and she pardoned them from death. Therese. Well, actually, Teresa's character is something different, but my mom definitely wants to commit a crime.
Of course she does.
Yeah, of course she does.
I just want to be paid to commit the crime.
I mean, well, yeah, it's
Like-
going to happen.
Like, I will be the hitman.
Okay.
I want the second option.
Okay, so you're being summoned in.
Yeah.
Perfect. So it's going to be a mixed crowd.
Yeah.
Love it. Andrew never gave me an answer, so I'm still waiting on him.
Yeah, I'm totally a hitman.
Yeah. She sees
Hit
something,
woman.
she hits it.
Hit woman! Oh my gosh, yes, that's going to be part of my
personality.
my personality. I see it, I hit it.
So next week, I'm going to give a sneak peek for the Cena section next week. We're going to, before the episode, actually start building Nicole's character. And so I think next week we can talk about what you want to look like, what your character name is. And if you desire any kind of backstory, that's the things you got to tell your dungeon mistress so I can put it in our story.
So we have to do a live this month. And I already planned on making you dinner next week and building a character.
Wow.
Like, maybe we could do this all on live.
That would be fantastic. So I'm also going to throw out there that since we're in the Cena segment, how I've been filling my time is The Sims.
Yes.
Because I emotionally shut down with all the changes at work. I just kind of like, and then with Paisley getting sick. But I have been listening to, and I think I've said it before, there is a podcast called Girls Who Don't D&D.
Yes, you have talked about them.
And I thought they were British. No, they're Australian, which is even better.
Yes.
Because all of a sudden they start talking about like the redback spiders. And they're like,
Yeah.
well, if you couldn't tell we're from Australia, now you can tell.
Yeah.
So I've been listening to that. But I haven't done any reading this week. I've been balls deep in TikTok. And for the last 2 weeks, like you get your weekly summary of screen time, your
Yes.
average.
Yeah, you turn that off.
The last 2 weeks, I have, this is embarrassing, 4 hours and 44 minutes is my average.
Wow.
And I'm like, okay, repeating numbers. Thank
Yeah.
you. But then I got really self-conscious.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm daydreaming about my garden. So Cena's paranoid about the food shortages coming up.
Which I don't know about.
It's all over the radio.
I don't listen to the radio anymore. I don't listen to the news updates because they stress me out and I get anxiety. And
That's what's been happening. I'm anxious about not having enough food. And I'm like, well, at least I have body fat. But Andrew doesn't. And I don't want him to starve to death.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to figure, like, literally have my parents and my sister. I'm like, we all have to crack down on our gardening. We need to be like stewing and canning shit.
Good for Therese too.
Yeah.
to
Well,
undo.
I was talking to Dad because I'm like, listen, like I've gained my weight back that I had lost from working when I worked at Gojo and walked 20,000 steps a day.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I am either going to have the energy to start an exercise regime or do gardening. I cannot start both at the same time.
Yes.
And I feel it is more important to do gardening this year because I'm afraid of the food storage or like food shortages. And I figured, gardening is a lot of work. That can be my exercise regime. Like I can
You
plan.
kind of have to set aside time when you get home from work.
I was figuring
maybe.
an hour.
Yeah.
When I got home from work, doing what I need to do.
Mm-hmm.
The hardest part is establishing the beds.
Yes.
So it's going to be a lot of upfront work. But obviously I feel passionate about it.
Yeah.
And hopefully I don't have a summer like I did last year, with a friend committing suicide and losing my job and crashing my car and just like where I don't shut down.
Yes.
So this is like my ongoing goal.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That's it for me today.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
You've been listening to the Wife Wednesday podcast. I'm a block of ice.
And I'm feelings after a one-night stand.
Bye. All right, wives, we are at Wife Wednesday Pod on Instagram and Facebook. And because Twitter can go fuck themselves, you can find us at Wife Wednesday.